Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here with part 2 of my S21 Ultra video. Now yesterday I did part 1 talking about the top 5 reasons you should pick up this phone, but no phone is perfect, and so today I'm going to share with you the top 5 reasons why you should not pick up this Galaxy S21 Ultra. So reason number 1 actually has to do with something that I really enjoy about this phone, the design. And look, Phantom Black is beautiful, the build quality of this phone is beautiful, but one thing about this phone might be a deal breaker for you, and that is the size and the weight of this device. Coming in at 8.9 millimeters and 229 grams, this is one of the heftiest and one of the thickest phones I've tested this entire year. Now you don't really notice this kind of thing until you compare it to another phone, and here I have the Xiaomi Mi 11, which is 8 millimeters, 196 grams, and you definitely notice the difference. Now for you big phone users, it's going to be a non-issue. You want the biggest and the largest display on your device, but for everyone else, I do think this would be a concern, especially for smaller-handed people and anyone that is used to like Pixel 4 or 4a. This is a massive phone. And on a small side note, the display aspect ratio is another thing you guys have complained about, saying 20:9 is not an aspect ratio that you like. What it does do in this case is it makes the phone a little bit wider to use, and it makes it harder to get your hands around this phone, and I'm surprised Samsung didn't go for the 21:9 aspect ratio that most other OEMs are choosing these days. I've definitely gotten used to it, but it may be a deal breaker. The size and thickness is the first reason you may not want to consider the S21 Ultra. The second reason why you should not possibly consider this S21 Ultra is actually the battery life. And now in my experience, the 5,000 mAh battery capacity has not been terrible. I've had some good days of screen on time coming to maybe 4 or 5 hours of screen on time, but it's definitely not great battery life, and especially if you're running this phone at WQHD Plus and 120 Hz, it will start to run down pretty quick. Now all of this could be resolved if you had a really fast charging capability on this phone, but not only does the S21 Ultra not ship with a charger in the box, but it only goes up to 25 watts for fast charging on this phone. And meanwhile, you have phones from Realme or Xiaomi, even this Mi 11 that charges up in under 50 minutes with a 55-watt charging brick. This S21 Ultra will take closer to 2 hours to complete its full charge. And so while not terrible, considering the price point of this phone, I think many of you would have hoped for a better battery experience, and is my second reason why you may not want to consider this Galaxy S21 Ultra. And the third reason you should not consider buying this phone is, I guess, one that's not a big deal for me, but I know for many of you, it is the ultimate deal breaker on a flagship Samsung phone, and that is no SD card support. And that is absolutely right, guys. Here you see it, the SIM tray. You have dual SIM capability, at least here on this Hong Kong version of the phone, but no SD card support whatsoever. And to be honest, for me, this is less of an issue. I'm very happy with the 256 gigs of storage or even 512 on this phone. But many of you out there I know, especially you longtime Samsung users, have always loved the fact that your S-series phones have had SD card support. And when Samsung tried to remove it with the S6, you guys were very, very upset. They came back in the S7 series and added it back on. Well, it's gone once again, and so you're going to have to look elsewhere if you want to use SD cards on your smartphone. So not as big an issue for me, but it's definitely a major deal breaker for a lot of you, and is my third reason why you should not consider this S21 Ultra. And the fourth reason you may not want to consider this phone is the performance, but not the performance related to my unit here, which is the Snapdragon 888 version. We're talking about the performance of the Exynos version, which I would say is the most readily available global version of the phone out there. Now here you can see this is the model number of my Samsung unit, but for all of you guys in Europe, I know you don't have an option, and the Exynos is the only version of the phone that you can get. Now I've had no performance issues with the Snapdragon version of this phone, and the cameras have also been very excellent, but now after having watched some videos, especially shout out to my buddy Chris from Tech Tablets, that the Exynos version of this phone is running into some major issues when it comes to video quality and just really low bit rates, to poor camera quality and over sharpening as well. And this could be due to the lower quality image signal processor that is being used in the Exynos 2100 version over the Snapdragon 888 version that I have right here. Now in my case, the cameras of this S21 Ultra are excellent, and I really do think they are a step above any other Samsung phone that I've ever tested. We have incredible shots with incredible detail, but after seeing the results from Chris's video with the Exynos version, there's no doubt that there's major software updates that need to happen to that phone. And out of the box, the camera experience of the Exynos version of the S21 Ultra is just unacceptable. So if you do have the option between the Snapdragon or Exynos versions, definitely get the Snapdragon, because it does seem like the Exynos version of this phone is currently broken, or at least suffering some major software issues, and is a big reason why you should not consider the S21 Ultra. And the fifth and final reason why you should not consider buying this S21 Ultra, it's the big one, guys. It's the price. And let's face it, this is an expensive phone, coming in at nearly 10,000 Hong Kong dollars or 1,150 US dollars. This is a pricey beast, and it is definitely up there next to the 12 Pro Max as one of those phones that for many of you is going to be hard to justify the purchase of such an expensive phone. And that's especially true when you have phones like the Xiaomi Mi 11, which was launched in China and is imminent for a global launch as well, coming in at nearly half the price of this Galaxy S21 Ultra. Look, the reality is, I know a lot of you out there do like Samsung's One UI 3.0 and all of the ecosystem products that fit within Samsung. You're not even considering phones like the Xiaomi Mi 11 or the Vivo IQ7 that I recently reviewed. While cheaper, these phones just don't tick all the boxes that you Samsung fans out there want in a phone. But for the rest of you out there, this is an expensive phone, and you may be considering the S21 regular or the S21 Plus instead. I, for one, am glad I picked up this phone, but there's no denying for a lot of you, this will feel like an overpriced device compared to the other phones that we've seen and that we will be seeing on the market in the next couple of months. I'm glad I've given this phone a chance. It's been one of the best Android experiences I've ever had, but for the rest of you out there, this is an expensive phone and is my final reason why you should not consider buying this S21 Ultra. But hit me up in the comments. What are your reasons why you would not consider this S21 Ultra? Look, guys, I love this phone. I think it's one of the best experiences I've had this year, but I know it's not for all of you. So hit me up in the comments. I would love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. That's right, guys. Only a few more days to go for the global launch of the Xiaomi Mi 11. We're about to go lights, camera action on that launch, so stay tuned. So that's it, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech, signing off. Have a good one. S21 Ultra, you are pricey, but I still love you.